Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ray Bedarty, and welcome to the first episode of my brand new podcast series, The Ethics of YouTube, where I cover different ethical issues surrounding the platform that is, YouTube. The first issue I'll be talking about is advertising, more specifically the ethical issues of advertising on YouTube itself. This is such a large topic that it'll be split to more than one episode, so this is just the beginning. This is just part one. This episode of the podcast will be all about ads for online gambling, which have become more common than ever on the platform, to be honest. I can almost guarantee you that you've seen an ad for an online casino or bookmaker somewhere on YouTube earlier today. And if you haven't, you'll likely see one later on in the day. Despite the fact that YouTube banned advertisements for gambling, alcohol, and sports betting from their masthead back in the middle of June 2021, the ads for online casinos like 888 Casino and Betway are as prevalent as ever, if not more so at times. There are multiple major issues with this going on, first of which being that there aren't really any rules in a lot of countries when it comes to online gambling and its advertising yet. Unlike advertising in print, on the radio, or on television, online advertising is nowhere near as regulated, so companies like 888 Casino can get away with more than they can through traditional media because they don't have to worry about getting a large fine for breaking some rules here or there. This means that casinos and sports betting companies are able to advertise wherever they want, whenever they want, whereas on television, for example, they can only advertise at specific times of the day and on certain channels. I'm mainly going to be talking about UK regulations for gambling advertising because the legislation to establish a gambling regulator in Ireland was only recently published and has not gone into effect yet. In the UK, there are quite a few rules to regulate the advertising of gambling on British television. A few examples of these include not being allowed to have under 25s in ads, not being allowed to link gambling to sexual or financial success, and the big one is that there is absolutely no advertising gambling of any kind to children. These regulations and more fall under the Gambling Act of 2005. There have been proposals to revise the Gambling Act to include things like loot boxes in video games like FIFA and NBA 2K, or celebrities and ads for betting companies like Paddy Power and Ladbrokes. But as of the upload of this podcast, nothing has been revised. If there are any updates, they'll be added in the descriptions on all the different platforms that this goes up on. Ireland currently doesn't have much regulation on gambling at all, and the new legislation that aims to establish a gambling regulator that would bring in rules similar to what the UK has won't go into effect until early 2023 at the earliest. None of these rules matter on the internet though. As a result of that, these companies can make gambling seem like the solution to all your financial and sexual problems, and that it's cool for children. These ads go on videos and channels that children would commonly watch, such as The Sidemen, PewDiePie, and Mr. Beast. And when you combine all of that with the fact that a lot of FIFA YouTubers who are very popular with kids and teens mainly play Ultimate Team, which has gambling with real money as the main path to success, you have an outlet for casinos, sports betting companies, and multi-billion-dollar corporations to advertise gambling to children who don't know how dangerous it can really be. According to industry figures, the Irish are the fourth biggest gamblers in the European Union, and globally, Ireland ranks 14th for average highest gambling losses, just ahead of the United Kingdom. It is estimated that there are around 12,000 problem gamblers in the Republic of Ireland, with a lack of a lot of different kinds of regulation in Ireland and online. No wonder the Irish people lose so much money at the bookies and online. When advertising online is regulated, I believe that lessening the impact of gambling advertisements should be a top priority. They are having a serious impact on people across the world, but especially in the UK and Ireland, who are tackling the issues around regular gambling adverts, but not the online ones just yet. There are so many gambling companies involved in sport that their sponsorships might be banned soon in the UK, maybe from next season or so. Before I reached my conclusion overall, I went around and spoke to college students in Ballyfermot about how often they see ads for online casinos and betting shops, and the results were rather interesting.
Actually, you know, it depends on when I'm trying to go and watch something completely unrelated. I'd go and get it every fifth kind of ad, I'd say. You know.
I've YouTube Premium, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I see them quite a bit popping up, alright, yeah. I actually have them.
Yeah, fairly frequently.
Too many to count.
Oh yeah, they're always on the telly, like, you know, the fellow with
I don't mean on the telly, I mean on YouTube.
Videos,
Yeah.
I was gonna say on YouTube
Oh, yeah.
ads, there's like so many. Jesus.
So many gambling ads.
Too many to count.
Yeah.
or the bingo ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're everywhere. It's absolutely.
I haven't seen many.
Outlier.
Loads.
Very often. Like every second YouTube video it has gambling.
Yeah.
10 times?
Yeah, a lot.
Very telling results there. In conclusion, online gambling advertisements need some form of regulation to prevent children and young people from becoming addicted to gambling and to help those who are already addicted to wean themselves off of gambling altogether. Now, will you all please share this podcast around? I've been working on it for a while, and the message, it is an important message I think needs to be shared around to many different people. So just keep talking about it, just mention it on your social feeds, just do all that, just keep sharing it around. All right? Thank you all so much for listening to the first episode of The Ethics of YouTube.